Yin and yang, two complementary energetic forces in the universe. One cannot exist without the other. Flow of both must be balanced in the body. Certain meridians control yin energy, others control yang energy. Okay? Yin is a passive, darker energy, while yang is an aggressive, brighter energy. Yang's male, female is yin, etc. Okay, so here we go. The 12 standard meridians and collateral channels. Now, we didn't talk about the collateral channels before, but this is really kind of cool. Okay? These are energy pathways with an organ and a collateral channel. The meridians and their collateral channels are symmetrical on both sides of the body. Imbalances, for example, pathogens, toxins, etc., will usually first affect the collateral channel, and then they'll affect the meridian, and then the organ. You can think of it kind of like, if you look at a topographical map, okay, of an area of the world, right? You can think of the collateral channels and the meridians and the organs being kind of like a river basin, okay? Water, rain falls on the mountains, okay? And you can think of the water that comes down in the little streams and things as the collateral channels, okay? The collateral channels drain down then into the meridian, which is the river, that then runs down into the harbor, which is the organ. That's kind of how to think of it, okay? So oftentimes, if something attacks the body, it'll often start in the collateral channels and then move into the meridian and then finally end up in the organ. Does that kind of make sense? It's kind of how it is. And you also might see symptoms of imbalance in those collateral channels. So those energies can lodge anywhere and imbalance the energy flow of any of these. The 8 extraordinary meridians are storage meridians or energy reservoirs, and they supply the 12 standard meridians with extra energy if needed. Is kind of how this works. And they provide a place for the 12 standard meridians to offload excess energy. Okay? Now, you don't have to worry too much about all this stuff. If you find a meridian imbalance, you just ask, what's the underlying reason? And then the body code will take you there. Boop, you fix it, and you're good to go, right? You don't have to worry about it. But this is really what's going on behind the scenes. These 8 extraordinary meridians are not associated directly with any organs, okay? And there are no collateral channels with these. 6 of them have a symmetrical right and left, and then 2 of them do not, and those are the conception and the governing meridian. The governing meridian, as we know, starts here, goes around. The conception meridian starts at the lower lip and goes straight down this way to the middle of the perineum. All right, so the dental relationship chart lists connections or meridians. And they channel energy between the teeth and other body parts and organs. So this is really interesting stuff. If there are problems with a specific body part, you can ask if the related tooth is happy and vice versa. Or you can go through and you can check teeth and see if they're happy, okay? And then you can look at this chart and see the connections, and it may just take you places that you might not have otherwise gone. The dental relationship chart is located in the mind maps, okay? So it's in the mind map that you have, okay? But have they been pulled? Okay. If they've been pulled, the energy connections are still there, okay? Now, this is a great question. What if you have an organ removed, okay? Can you remove the spirit organ? No. The spirit organ is still there. When I was in practice, it was really interesting. I found out that people who had organs removed would still oftentimes need the same supplements, for example, and things that they would need if they had the real organ. And sometimes people had pretty much every organ removed. I remember one guy, he had every organ removed. I asked him, I found something going on with his heart, and he said, oh, I had that removed years ago. You know? How the guy was walking around, I don't know. Weird. So anyway, how do we work with these? Well, you identify the meridian in the mind map and ask, is this meridian happy? Okay? Or is this meridian imbalanced on the right or the left? Because remember, most of them, except the governing and the conception, the ones that run up the front and down the back, they all have a left and a right. So you'll want to check which side is out of whack. Okay? And then come back to the mind map and ask, is there an underlying cause, just like everything else? See, it all works the same way, right? That's how this works. It all works the same way. Kind of like Apple computers. All their programs work the same way. That's why we use them. You see a lot of them. Makes it easier, okay? Identify and remove any underlying causes. Reset the meridian's energy flow with 3 rolls if you need to. Sometimes you'll find a meridian imbalance and you'll ask if there's an underlying cause. The body will say no. You'll ask, is there a hidden underlying cause? The body says no. In that case, you just roll 3 rolls with an intention to turn that meridian back on.